here we go. So this class is going to be ERW Advanced Directed Exercise number 2, creating a processing option. So business purpose, we're going to create a report template to track purchase orders. And this report template should contain a comments column that indicates when a buyer should be contacted. By the way, I'm reading the directed exercise right out of the ERW Advanced Exercises document on page 39. So this report template should contain a comments column that indicates when a buyer should be contacted, and users who process the report should have the option of hiding or displaying the comments column on their report. In this exercise, you will create a processing option template that prompts the user to specify whether the comments column appears. This processing option template requires a label on the tab, text to indicate the nature of the options, and a data dictionary item to store the user's value. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new project. And since I've been dealing with TRN and a 4-digit count, I'm going to build TRN 0002 project. And that project is going to be purchase orders. And the type is enhancements and non-critical, but no workaround. And we're going to do it in the 55 system. And of course, for our work, it's going to be E920. So and so with that, we're going to first create we're going to highlight the project and create the processing option. So I'm going to do add. Now a processing option is just a special data structure. So it's going to be, we're going to select data structure, and it's going to be T554301. And purchase order processing option. Product code is 55. The product system code is 43. And since it defaults on regular data structure, we want it to be a processing option template. So we're going to change it to that radio button and say, okay. And then we're going to go to design tools, go to the design aid. And so because it wants us to work as little as possible, it's already created a tab page for us. And all we have to do is change the name. So I'm going to right mouse click, go to current tab properties, and change that to display. Now this is just a group, a way to group your processing options. And there's a short name, which is what displays on the tabs. And there's a long name where if you're about to run it, you can hover over the tab and it will give you the long name of it. So I'm going to go ahead and fill in a long name. So that you can see that happen. Okay. So the first thing in the directed exercise, we're going to just add a comment. And since a comment never changes, it's just fixed text, we're going to click on the A and then click down here and add our comment text. And I'm going to highlight all of that and then start typing enter a Y if you would like to display the comments column on your report. Enter an N if you would not like to the comments column to appear in your report. Okay, so I'm going to click out of that. Again, just like in the other, we might want to save early and save often. Although it gives us an error, I don't know why. Oh, probably because it needs to have a field that actually receives data. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go get an item. And we're going to look for under alias. I don't understand this. From the data dictionary browser on the right, use the QBE line to locate the addition flag. Oh, okay. And so the alias starts with an A, so we're going to just filter down to that and see if we can find the addition flag data item. Okay, so it's this first one. I get it now. And so I'm going to highlight this first one and I'm going to drag it. I thought I was going to drag it. How about double click it? There. If I double click it, it drops it over on the left side. So now I have added a processing option to my processing option template. Okay. Now we're going to change the display for this to display comments column, yes, no. Yes, no. And I have always put in a comma after that, kind of indicating that now we're looking for an answer. Okay. And then we're we're going to go into properties for this. I'm going to right mouse click and select properties. And the only field that's not grayed out is the member name. So this is going to be, when we go to our event rules, this is the name that we're going to be looking for. Now, the lowercase c is good, which means it's going to be a char type or character type of size 1. And then they want us to use display comments. Okay. Now, personally, whenever I create these, I also add an underscore and then the alias, which in this case just happens to be a capital A from the alias right here. And I like to do one other thing. I like to notate, I like all the processing options to show up in the same relatively, to be grouped by type if I have a whole bunch of them. So I'll usually always put a PO in there as well. Now, this is the art side of development. And so you might, through experience, decide you want to go, you like working it a different way. And that's the, because it's the art side, it really doesn't matter. It's not going to make things not run or run better. So I'm going to give it that name. Okay. Now, just so you can see kind of what it's going to look like when someone runs it, you can actually go here and click edit and then test, and it'll pop up in the screen here as if you were running it. So since things have changed, it wants to know if I want to save it first. I'm going to say yes. And boom. So this is how the processing options would pop up. And if I click in it, it has a visual assist, and then I have the ability to say okay, help, or cancel. And if I do help, I wonder what happens. Maybe shouldn't have done that, but that's okay. Okay, so when I did the test, you don't want to do this. I did a test and I hit the help and it didn't know where to go. That's not a good thing to do in Demo Junior. So we're just going to hit cancel, and things look just fine. Okay. So after creating it, let me see. Okay, so in the test, you can also use the visual assist and see that the visual assist will give you the options. And we have N or 0 is no, and Y for 1 is yes. That'll come into play when we go to attach this processing option to a UBE. We're going to have to then, every time this runs, go look at that value and then figure out how to show or hide the comments column on the report. And so that's all there is to creating a processing option.